Wow. They wouldn't let me go live because I had invalid characters in my title. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? Alright, I am now live. Good evening, fellow mortals. I am here again with Ethan Anderson.
Hello.
Ethan was just talking about how much he wants me to teach him how to play chess.
Yeah. I think I can be pretty good.
Yeah, I think you could. I think you could be too. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said you could be.
Nice.
In the future, it's going to be a viable profession.
For real?
What?
There's already chess streamers on Twitch.
Yes, but I mean, um, it will be a viable profession um, without the necessity of collecting revenue via uh, viewers, if that makes sense. It'll be you'll be able to make money doing it. You'll be able to make a living doing it just by winning games. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yes.
Who's gonna pay you?
Uh, it will be uh, it would be a cash prize system.
Or who's paying?
Whatever institution I either create or convince to adopt my idea.
Nice.
I think it'll probably be relatively easy to convince people like the people that run chess.com to adopt my idea because it's an extremely profitable idea. So,
How does it work?
well, um, they already have a subscription model, and I assume they also uh, do advertising on their site. Um, but I know for a fact that in addition to that, they have a subscription model for their website. So what that tells me is that um, they have the wherewithal to invest cash in certain ventures if those ventures were seemed likely to them to increase the profitability of the company or the growth trajectory of the company in the short, medium, and or long term.
How does the company grow?
Well, so the company grows. Yeah, I'm glad you prompted me to continue. The company grows by investing some of its resources in um, assigning cash prizes to the top three place winners, the medalists in its tournaments that it hosts on a daily basis. And they don't have to be ridiculously high sums of money, but it just has to be. They just have to um, award enough money to the medalists in their tournaments that they do daily. They just have to award enough money to the medalists that it becomes something that people could theoretically uh, make an incentivizing amount of money, or aka enough money to live on, or enough money to meaningfully impact people's lives. And then what that does is it creates a natural market mechanism where, since it's now worth so much more, so many more people's time, so much more time from so many more people, because you are compensating people for their time with money. Even a theoretical reward is a compensation. So even the losers of the tournament are compensated, and under this paradigm, even though they lost. That was a risk they signed up for, and it didn't even cost them any money up front. So that's another reason why the model works. Um, but the essence of it is, you offer cash prizes to the medalists of your daily tournaments, and in exchange for that investment, your platform gets massively more popular and many more people use it, which increases the profitability and the growth trajectory of the company.
Cool. Why didn't you share the link?
What?
Why didn't you get the YouTube link yet?
I've been distracted by you. Let's see. It's not like they couldn't have gotten it.
What is the debate?
One sec. We were going to debate whether or not I should be the supreme leader of the cult that you want to have. But if you have something you'd rather debate, I'm open to suggestions.
All right. I have another topic too.
Okay.
Are we starting? Is Lang in here? Langston?
Do you not remember when I said we were live?
But where's everybody?
Lazy.
Where's Langston?
Lazy.
All right. So, why do you have so many ideas, but you don't have you actually done anything yet? Any ideas?
Define doing
Have
something.
you actually completed any ideas?
completing an idea. That's not a thing. Ask
Have you implemented any ideas?
ask Vincent van Gogh or Leonardo da Vinci. They'll tell you true
Have you actually produced anything?
true art is never complete.
Have you produced anything? Or created anything?
Define create anything.
Have you implemented any ideas? Seems like you have a new idea every stream, but
You're not
I don't know
asking
if
a
you.
specific enough question.
It seems like you have a new idea every stream, but I don't know what happened to your old ideas. Or did you ever do anything? Or
I don't have
do
the power to instantiate my ideas in reality
okay.
because my life is too disorganized otherwise.
Well, you need to organize it, right?
Obviously.
Oh,
I am, however, instantiating one of my ideas right now by streaming with you.
oh, okay. What was your old idea you were going to do? You were going to help the homeless?
Yeah, see, so you'll find a common theme in my ideas is that they're things that would benefit me in my life if they existed.
Oh,
So it really wasn't about homelessness, it was about poverty.
um, when are you going to organize your life?
Oh, what kind of question is that?
Well, you said you're going to organize. You need to organize your life, right?
Of course.
But when are you going to do it?
When are you going to become sane? See what I mean?
Well, you said you.
No, do you
said
see what I mean or not?
No, I don't see what you mean.
Oh, you don't see what I mean?
Because you said you're not organized.
Do you agree you're not sane?
I'm sane.
So you don't agree that you're not sane?
Yes. I don't agree because I am sane.
Benefit of the doubt would mean I still believe you're insane. Get it?
How is that a benefit of the doubt?
Well, the alternative is worse, that's why.
I don't get it.
Your behavior is not great.
My behavior is not great.
Yeah.
Why?
It isn't coherent.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Do you
Why
know?
is it not
do
coherent?
you know what coherent means?
Yes. Why do you think it's not coherent?
Um, you don't. You don't. You don't feel the need to interface with the reality that you don't make logical sense.
How do I not make logical sense?
You say things that aren't logical, and you um, and you dismiss people who attempt to point out to you that what you said was not logical.
Do you have an example?
I'm sure I could find many examples if I went to the work of going and looking for them, but I'm sure it would be easier to just get you to say something ridiculous right now.
All right, go ahead and try.
Well, it seems to happen every time we start discussing philosophy of any kind, so let's do that.
How are you going to lead a cult if you can't even lead your own, organize your own life?
Um, so um, although I recognize the validity of your question, the exception here, which proves this rule that we're working with right now, is that it is, of course, you must admit, theoretically possible that I could utilize my cult to organize my life, right?
No, you can't. You can't
Theoretically
organize.
possible, yes or no?
Yes.
Right. That's what I fucking thought, bitch.
But not in reality.
No, no, no.
Because
Theoretically means in reality.
no, it doesn't mean
No, no,
in
no.
theory.
Ethan, theoretically possible means possible in reality. It doesn't mean not possible in reality. It means possible in reality.
Then why did you say theoretically?
So you don't know what theoretically means. Cool. We are. See, it was like 2 seconds, and we already found you saying something fucking ridiculous.
You know what theoretically means?
Yes, but you don't.
What does it mean?
It means. Oh, this is a great question. Okay, here's what I'm now going to create my definition of my interpretation of the definition of um, what was the word we were defining?
Oh my god. Do you have ADD?
Uh, maybe I'm.
You forgot the word already?
Well, can you remind me what the word was?
Oh my gosh. Theoretically.
Oh yeah, cool. Um, okay. Define theoretically. Give me 1 second. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to definitions, you see. They have to be both necessary and sufficient. And that's not and being necessary and sufficient alone is also not sufficient. It also has to be perfectly exclusionary as well.
Mhm. I can give you the definition if you give up.
No, no, no. You're going to give me the definition after I give you my definition.
Okay.
Theoretically, theoretically means okay. Theoretically is defined as that which is imagined.
Alright, so if it's imagined, how is it real?
Did I say it was real? What do you mean
You
real?
said,
Wait, no,
you said,
real,
you said it
real. No,
applies to
first,
everything.
stop. Real is one of the worst words you could possibly use in that question. Like, it's so um, not unspecific.
It theoretically means it relates to theory of a subject or area rather than its practical application. So
Say that again.
it's in a way that relates to the theory rather than its practical application.
Okay, you're not allowed to use a word in the definition of the word. Do you know that?
Yes, you can.
No, no, no. It's totally not allowed. Go look up the definition of theory.
Okay, theory is a plausible or scientifically acceptable general principle. No. It's a. Let's see. Let me find a good definition.
You just did find the definition. That which is plausible. That was the definition.
That which is plausible.
Right. That was the definition Google gave you. I gave you the definition that which is imagined, which is a little bit more cerebral, but I actually like what Google said. That which is plausible, which is actually a perfectly synonymous statement with my side of the argument we were just having. So I win and you lose.
Hold on, let's see. Theoretical. It's involved with the theory of a subject rather than its practical application. So it's saying it's not practical. So you're saying when you said it's in theory, that means in practical application.
Wait, stop, Ethan. This is why I'm saying that you aren't a sane person, because you don't understand the difference between the phrase practical application as it's used in this definition and the concept of impracticality. You're massively conflating those two concepts right
now. Let's see. All right. What was the original question about?
Well, we started talking about philosophy because well, this is good. Okay, this is good. This is a good story. All right, I love how this progressed. We started talking about philosophy so that I could get you to give me an example of you saying something bad shit. Okay. But then when we did start talking about philosophy, then that got really interesting really quick, because you said to me, by way of instigating the conversation about philosophy, you said to me, how are you going to lead a cult when you can't even organize your life? And I said to you, well, you have to admit it's theoretically possible that I could use my cult to organize my life. And you had a good laugh about that, but then I forced you to answer the question of yes, with a yes or a no, and you gave me the correct answer, which is yes. At which point I informed you that I win and you lose.
All right, but I don't think it's in practicality. You can't start a cult unless you organize your own life first. That's the step one of being a cult leader.
Step one of me perceiving you as a sane individual that can be reasoned with and cooperated with in a productive and wholesome manner, like a human being should be able to do, is that you don't say things like can't.
Can't.
Like, in the context that you just used it, it was like totally illogical to use it that way.
All right.
It contravened the meaning of the fucking word. It was wrong to use that word in that sentence. You can't say I can't do it if you just admitted that it's theoretically possible for me to do it.
All right, here's what theory means: used in describing what is supposed to happen or be possible. usually with the implication that it does not in fact happen. Example, in theory, things can only get better.
Ethan,
in practice,
okay, forget
it
about
will
forget about
become
this.
a lot worse.
Fuck this. Ethan,
Right.
listen to me. All of this is irrelevant because I can win at a much higher altitude of thought here. Okay.
Okay.
Not only is it within my power to use my cult to organize my life, but that is, in fact, already the standard for people, how society prescribes that people should organize their life, namely the institution of marriage, which I define as a cult.
Why is it a cult?
How is it not a cult?
There's only two people.
Irrelevant.
What's a cult?
You tell me.
Who's the leader in the marriage?
The man.
Okay.
I mean, the female might serve that purpose, but she would be the man then.
Well, you can't have a real cult. The first step to having a cult is organizing your own life.
The institution of the cult is a form of organization in unto itself. That is why everyone says get married, have children.
Well, if you want to have a popular cult, you have to have your own life organized.
Well, first of all, that's empirically untrue. I mean,
because you can have a shitty.
No,
cult.
that's empirically untrue. There are many famous men who are considered great even in history, like Karl Marx and Socrates, who had famously terrible organization in their personal lives, and had and still to this day have zombie level cults. I mean, you have to admit that that's true.
Well, they had terrible organization of their life. No, they had good organization of their life. They had terrible relationships because they put all their attention on their work.
No, Ethan.
Their life was organized because they were doing a lot of work.
No.
It's just their relationships were not organized.
No. They were poor. Both of the men that I mentioned were poor their whole lives. That is not organization.
Well, they chose to be poor. Socrates refused to make money because he wanted to be pure. And Karl Marx was a loser who didn't know how to get a job.
Okay, so first of all, just by saying that about Karl Marx, that's a concession of what I'm saying. But putting that aside, the same is true of Socrates, and you just don't like admitting it.
What's the same is true?
He was a loser that didn't like to work.
No, he chose to sacrifice money because he didn't want it to corrupt his teaching of wisdom.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he fucking told his wife.
No, he told everybody.
You're missing the point.
What, you think he lied about that?
No, I think that's not an excuse.
It is an excuse because
No, I don't agree.
he was making money.
No, that's some fucking libcuck bitch logic.
I personally don't agree with it, but that doesn't mean it was necessarily bad logic, because there's a lot of fake people who try to teach wisdom, but they're just out to make money, right?
Oh God, you said so much wrong shit just now that it overwhelmed my brain, and now I can't remember anything.
There's a lot of people who teach wisdom, but they try to make money off of it. So they're not really teaching wisdom, they're just trying to make money.
There's no such thing as "but" in that sentence. Do you see how that's a non sequitur?
Well, they're just.
Do you see how that feeds my trope of your insanity?
Well, let me see if I explained it well.
You didn't. Try again.
Okay. Like, if you're just trying to make money, you can pretend that you're wise and you can pretend that teach wisdom. But really, you just want to make money. You're not really teaching wisdom.
Wait, but what if you earnestly want to teach wisdom, and you also have a great desire for money? I mean, what the fuck? Who cares?
Right. I think you can make money, but there's a risk that the person is not sincere. They're just out for money. They don't really
which is why the result matters more.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it. It might not make sense, but I think that could be argued.
Don't agree with what?
I don't agree that you don't have to make any money to stay pure, so your teaching isn't.
Do you agree with the following statement? If you have children, you're an immoral person if you don't make enough money for your children to
I agree with that.
Grow up comfortably.
I agree with that, yeah.
Okay. So you agree with me then that Socrates was a bum. He had 11 fucking children and they were poor as dirt.
Well, it depends what you mean by comfortable, right?
What?
Socrates didn't even exist.
What are you talking about?
How do you know he had 11 children? Nobody knows if he was even a real person.
No. I think you're mistaken. I'm open to being proven wrong, but I think you're mistaken.
Okay.
On that factual point.
I think I can look it up right now.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I guess he did exist.
LOL.
I heard that he doesn't exist, but I think I just looked it up and I guess he did exist.
Oh, well, I guess my rumors had a bigger dick than your rumors.
I always thought he existed, but then a couple days ago, someone told me he didn't exist.
So then you believed them.
They got me messed up.
Yeah. See, this is not helping your image. I'm trying to help you.
Define comfortably.
Do you want me to?
Where's Big D, by the way?
Sleeping. I said that.
Define comfortably, because you could live comfortably as long as you have a nice sunlight and you can have enough food to eat.
I'm not married to the word comfortably. I could pick a less comfortable word than comfortably if that would make anyone feel better.
Like back in the ancient times, you didn't need much to survive. You just needed sunlight and some food.
Which is why I'm not married to the word comfortably.
Which is why Socrates is not a bad guy.
No.
Because his kids survived.
That doesn't follow.
If his children survive, he's not a bad father.
No, that does not follow.
Why?
Because the bar is a little bit higher than that.
If his children were happy.
Yeah, they weren't.
How do you know?
They were at least immiserated by the extreme poverty that he subjected them to.
that doesn't mean they weren't happy, because there's happy kids in Africa.
No. Happiness is a choice, and whether or not they chose to be
So
happy,
why does it matter if they're poor if happiness is a choice?
it's irrelevant whether they chose to be happy or not. The fact is that he immiserated them through
If
his...
happiness is a choice, why does poverty matter at all?
Because poverty is an immiserating factor in life.
But you said it's a choice. Is it a choice or is it a not?
I didn't contradict myself whatsoever, Ethan. Why do you think I did?
If you said if it's a choice, then there's no immiserating factors.
That doesn't follow.
Why is there immiserating factors if it's just a choice?
What do you mean just a choice? And why can you not grasp the concept that you can have a choice and also that choice can be negatively impacted by an outside factor?
Well, how is it a choice if it can be negatively impacted?
How is it a choice if it can be negatively impacted? Do you fucking hear yourself? I'm seriously asking you that question. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear do you hear that you sound insane? Do you hear the lack of logic in what you said?
I don't hear it.
Yeah, I know that
it's
you don't.
It's not 100% a choice, then it's like a 90% choice or something.
Why is your standard, why would you ever apply a 100% standard to something?
Because when you say choice, that implies it's 100%.
Nope. How?
Because choice means it's in your control.
So in your control means it's 100% in your control? Is that what you're saying? Oh, so that's what you're saying?
Yes, unless you said partial choice. You didn't say partial choice.
Yeah, you don't say partial every time you fucking say a word, Ethan. But it's always there.
You gotta be more precise, bro.
No. You have to be less insane.
Well, you implied that it was 100%, so you gotta be
No,
careful.
you hallucinated that I implied 100%.
So it's a partial choice. Happiness is a partial choice.
That should go without saying.
Okay, that makes more sense.
No. It's not a partial choice. It's 100% a choice that you have less than 100% control over.
Then it's not a choice if you don't have control. The choice means you have control.
Ethan, don't have control. Don't have control means you don't have any control. Are you sure that's what you meant to say?
Well, we're getting into the partial control again.
No. We have always been there and we will always be there. And that should be goddamn obvious.
If you're not organized, you can't get a cult because...
No. Fuck your can't in the ass.
Happiness is partially...
Marriage is a cult.
Define happy, define choice, define control. Define happy.
Do you actually want me to define it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. See, I love it when people ask me to define things. How rude of everyone else not to return the favor. Let's see here. happiness means happiness reflects a sentient being's choice to indulge in pleasure.
Whoa. How did you come up with that?
I'm a genius, Ethan.
I've never heard a definition like that.
Well, keep talking to me and you'll hear some more like that.
What is your thought process behind that definition?
Oh, thank you for asking. Um, well, the thought process stems from what I was just talking about, how I said that happiness is a choice, right?
So happiness is the. What's your definition again?
I won't remember it word for word, but I can remember the concepts. My definition was that happiness reflects the choice of a sentient creature to indulge in happiness. I mean, not in pleasure. LOL. Langston just said I stole that definition from Webster's. If Webster's has the same definition as me, that just means that I'm on the level of Noah Webster. So get bent, bitch.
I've never heard a good definition like that before.
Well, thank you.
Reflects.
Looks like Langston's being salty in the chat. Ho's mad.
Happiness reflects the choice of a sentient creature to indulge in pleasure. That might be.
That might be what? Shit, fuck. Ethan, join the new call, bro. Fucking Zoom kicking you after 40 minutes. I need fucking premium like yesterday. LOL. Who are you, Eric? Identify yourself. And here we go.
Why does it kick you?
Because I don't have premium, so they kick you after 40 minutes so they can try to upsell you.
I never had that happen to me before.
On Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, they temporarily suspended that rule about Zoom calls as like a form of quote COVID relief when all the companies were like trying to do their virtue signaling. But now it's back, I guess.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Uh-huh. But anyway, you were saying that you think my definition is correct, I think?
It might be genius.
Oh, thank you, Ethan. Uh, that warms the cockles of my heart.
Because pleasure, you're choosing to indulge in pleasure, so you're feeling happy.
Happiness is the reflection of that choice, yes. The byproduct.
How did you figure that out?
Well, I I I am somewhat of an expert at defining things, so it's a very honed skill for me. So, in conjuncture with the fact that I have a shit ton of experience defining words in general, I focused on the root, which I identified as being the fact that I consider happiness to be a choice, and from there I extracted.
Happiness is a choice. So it's a partial choice?
That's what everything always means all the time, Ethan. Please stop getting bogged down with this.
A partial choice.
Everything's always not 100%, okay?
Everything's always not 100%, including that statement.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right. So happiness is a choice, but there's some factors that can make you unhappy.
No, no, no. They can't make you unhappy. They can influence your decision of whether or not to be happy, but they can't determine the outcome
Why not?
because you, as the owner of the choice, are the determiner of the outcome.
But they can influence me, right?
Yes, but that doesn't take away the fact that you own the outcome and you are the determiner.
If I own the outcome, then they can't influence me.
No, you don't. Owning it doesn't mean you totally own it.
So I don't own it.
No, you don't own the parts that you didn't do, and you do own the parts that you did do. But you 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 have to de facto take responsibility for the portion that you aren't responsible for because it's very intimately connected to the portion which you are responsible
So,
for.
so take one guy, he's in Auschwitz, and another guy, he's in Hollywood at a party.
Okay?
Technically, the first guy has a harder time of choosing happiness because he has such other factors going on. But
Yeah.
they both
It
have a
it might
choice.
it might even be irresponsible for him to choose to be happy in that situation.
Why?
Well, it might be counterproductive.
Oh, why?
Well, people who choose to be happy, um, and happiness inherently uh, is accompanied by some degree of complacency. And the opposite is true for sadness.
Sadness? Isn't sadness complacent because you're just lying around and you don't want to do anything?
No,
And when you're happy,
sadness is not that. You're talking about depression, not sadness.
well, I'm talking about sadness too.
No, what you're describing is depression, not sadness.
When you're sad, you don't want to do
Sadness is
anything.
not. Um, sadness can be debilitating, but one by the time it gets to be debilitating, it is not sadness. It is depression. Before
It's not debilitating. You just don't feel like doing anything because you're sad. You don't feel like doing
that
anything.
is that you just as you said it's not debilitating, and then you described debilitating.
Well, if you're sad, you don't feel like doing anything constructive. You just want to watch TV or.
No, that's what happens if you're depressed. If you're sad, you generally want to redress your sadness through action.
How do you so if you're sad, you want to fix your sadness?
Yes, it's generally motivational, yes.
It's motivational.
It can be.
What is sadness? What
Obviously,
makes
obviously, there are also contexts in which it would be irresponsible to choose to be sad.
So can you give me an example of a situation that would make somebody sad and then how they would overcome it?
How would that be relevant?
Because I don't know what you mean by sad. I can't. I don't understand how you can be sad and motivated.
It makes me very sad that I'm going to die.
It makes you sad that you're going to die, but that motivates you. Why does it make you sad? Or what does sadness feel like?
Did you just say, what does sadness feel like?
Yeah. Define sadness. Define sad.
Huh. Well, that's a better question. Sadness. I'm tempted to say it's just the inverse of the definition I gave for happiness, but
the choice of a sentient creature to indulge in pain.
The reflection of a sentient creature's choice to indulge in pain.
Is that your definition?
Yes.
The reflection?
Yes.
What does reflection mean?
The product. It means the product.
The product.
The product of a sentient creature's choice to indulge in pain.
I think I know what sad means. It means
yeah, I just told you.
It means unhappiness, grief, sorrow.
Ethan, of course it means unhappiness. That's not a definition.
That's what the dictionary says.
Okay, Ethan.
So how did you get so good at defining words?
Practice.
Why are you interested in defining words?
Because I wanted to know what God was.
God?
Yeah.
What is your definition of God?
And before I wanted to know what God was, I wanted to know what love was.
What is love?
God.
And what is God?
Man.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Define.
What I do better than everyone else.
All right. If you want to start a really good cult, you have to organize yourself first. Once you're a master of yourself, then you
No, you wouldn't have to. It would be ideal to organize yourself first, but you wouldn't have to, of course.
Because you can't get anyone to follow you unless you're a master of yourself, and then people are happy to be around you because you're charismatic, because you're happy, because you.
Right. So the problem here is you probably have a different threshold than me for your definition of how much self-mastery would be a sufficient amount in order for one to have a cult.
Yeah, because in my opinion, that's the first step before you can even cult lead
but
others.
But when you say it the way that you said it just now, you're implying that one would need to totally master themselves before having a cult, which every cult leader ever proves to be incorrect.
Well, you don't need total, but you just need pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm asking you what fucking percent pretty good means to you.
80%.
Okay, and how would you describe that in
So you're generally a master of yourself, and you can generally organize yourself.
so you must think that I am less than 80%.
You said it yourself. You're not even organized your own life.
Okay. I definitely don't agree with your 80% threshold. So what you're saying, are you I just want to be sure that you actually are endorsing this craziness. So you're making the claim, correct me if I'm wrong, that anyone who is less than 80% self-mastered and organized in their life would be flat out incapable of having a cult.
Yes.
LOL. Yeah, I just think you're wrong. I would put the threshold at more like 20% organization and self-mastery.
20%.
And I would say my personal organization and self-mastery is more like somewhere around 65%.
If you're only 20% organized, that means.
And that's me averaging my self-mastery with my organization. I think I have a low life organization and a high self-mastery.
Oh. I don't even want a cult.
Well, why do you talk about having one?
I don't even remember what the context was. Oh, someone else said I wanted a cult. Someone said Ethan wants a cult of personality around himself.
I don't believe you that you don't want a cult.
I don't want people to think I'm infallible.
Well, but do you think I want people to think I'm infallible, Ethan?
No.
Oh, thank you.
You said you wanted to lead my cult.
Yes, I do.
So that means you think you're infallible.
What? How?
That means you want people. If you want to lead a cult, you want people to think you're infallible.
No, I don't agree with that premise.
That's what I think a cult is.
Oh, you're wrong.
Then, what is a cult?
Oh, are you asking me to define cult?
Yeah.
This is fun. Cult is a cult is two or more people that collaborate based on a shared ideology at and have a high emotional investment in that collaboration.
Okay, let me write that down. Can you repeat that?
Yes. A cult is two or more individuals who collaborate on a shared ideology or philosophy and also have a high emotional investment in that ideology or philosophy, that collaboration, that project.
Okay. So it depends how we define cult.
Yes, according to my definition, a marriage is a cult.
Mm-hmm. But when I look up cult of personality in the internet, it says an idealized, heroic, or worshipful image of a leader, often through unquestioning flattery and praise.
Wait, say that again.
It's a
First of all, it's incorrect because you said cult of personality, and I defined cult, not cult of personality. But even if we want to go with this incorrect definition, I think I could still demonstrate to you which parts of it make sense. So what was the definition again?
Well, I could change it if we don't want to do cult of personality.
Yeah, let's not.
Okay. So a cult would be um, a social group defined by its religious, spiritual, or philosophical beliefs, or by its common interest in a particular personality, object, or goal.
Right, exactly what I said, essentially.
So I can have a philosophical cult.
Yes, Ethan. Yes.
Philosophy cult. Okay.
Otherwise
So by
known,
that
otherwise known as a think tank.
definition, I could be a cult. But when people think of cults, they think of
I don't care.
religion.
I don't care about that.
Well, I care because I want people to not misunderstand what I'm saying.
That's
I
not.
don't. I don't
Wait,
want people to
how
think
is? Why is that important?
because I don't want people to think I'm some evil religious leader who's trying to like be infallible or divine or something.
People are going to think that no matter how hard you try to make them not think that.
Well, I can.
The only way for you to successfully get no one to ever think that is to kill yourself right now.
Well, I'd rather do my best to make sure that they don't, but I don't care if they do.
Nope.
If I can
Sorry, I'm sorry. You can't have both of those things.
if I can avoid it, I might as well avoid it if possible.
Avoid what?
If I can avoid it, people misunderstanding what I'm trying to do, then I would rather avoid it.
Yes, but you always have to run a cost benefit analysis of what you lose in order to avoid it.
So what do I lose?
That depends on the context. What was the context?
The term cult carries derogatory connotations.
Right. So does the term racist, but it shouldn't.
So I do want to start a cult if we define cult as an interesting thing to work together on.
If you don't, if you're uncomfortable with the word, use a different word. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of a different word.
Yeah, group, organization,
Philosophy.
company, corporation.
So when people say I'm starting a cult, they might be right if depending on the definition.
Uh-huh.
Why would you want to be in charge of my cult?
It's hard for someone to be wrong, according to the definition, if they say they're starting a cult. Cults come in many different shapes and sizes.
Why are you qualified to lead my cult?
Oh, now we finally get to the meat of the matter. I am qualified to lead your cult because I am a kind and wise man.
But if you're leading it, then you're not. It's not my cult anymore. It becomes yours.
I have the wisdom and the power to lead a cult without owning it.
So do you want to be the manager of it? Like you can be the president, but I'm still the cult leader.
I want to be the supreme leader, and you can be the owner. It's like the difference between the coach and the owner. Get it?
But you said supreme leader.
Right. Think about a football coach. Who tells the players what to do every day and during the games? The coach or the owner? It's the coach.
The coach. But I have to be the one who tells people what to do.
Yeah, no, that's my job as the supreme leader. You tell me what to do, and I tell you whether or not I'm going to obey you.
Oh, and then that makes sense because that would free up my time.
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Because you could be the leader.
Right.
I understand.
It's actually a lot of work being the leader.
Yeah, I understand it. I actually like your idea.
Oh, thank you.
I need a leader to help run the cult.
Right. As long as he's a loyal person.
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't want somebody who's power hungry and then they take over and then they do illegal things and I get in trouble.
Ethan, I'm power hungry, but I don't need to take anything of yours to attain power.
But like other cults, the second in command becomes corrupt and they do illegal stuff.
What? No, I don't want. I don't. I'm not interested in anything illegal. I can rule the world and dominate everyone and everything while never committing a crime. I mean,
what if somebody slanders me? Are you going to kill them or?
What? What the fuck?
You can't kill anyone.
Yeah, I don't want to kill anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not. This is like. That's not. We need to not use the word cult so that you can stop tripping about it. Like,
Okay.
like we need to decide on a word other than cult so that this can stop bothering you, because I am not some mouth breathing mafia suit. Okay.
How do I know you're wise and nice? Sounds subjective to me.
Well, you don't know. You have faith or you don't have faith.
Okay. I understand now why you want to be the leader. I like it.
Thank you. Just you saying that, honestly, is almost as good to me as if I actually got to do everything that I'm imagining.
Cool. So you can help me do the work and I'll just stay home.
Right, and we both profit.
That's really good.
And everyone else profits too.
Yeah.
See, that's the beautiful thing about good organization. When you have it, you're not leaving anyone out, actually, because human energy, when properly multiplied, has an exponential growth factor to it.
You can be the scholar. How about that?
I can be the what?
The scholar. Scholar.
LOL. Did you just make that word up?
No.
What?
I'll tell you what it means. A scholar is the head of the school in ancient Greece.
What? I've never heard that word. I've never heard that word before. Type it into the chat real quick so I can see how it's spelled. The YouTube chat, not the Twitter chat.
Twitter chat.
I just wanted to make sure you typed it in the right chat. Scholark. See, that's how I would think that was spelled, but I've never fucking heard that word before. Can you please tell me what it means?
It's the head of a school in ancient Greece.
The head of a school, like, so it's like a Greek. So it's like Greek for headmaster, basically.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like the fact that your mind went to Greek culture and ancient Greece, because I think that is a very auspicious thing. I have a bottomless respect for the ancient Greeks. So.
That's where I come from, the ancient Greek philosophy schools.
Right. I mean, everyone worth a shit in philosophy owes their lineage, philosophically speaking, to Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
We stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before.
Yeah. So you can be the scholarch of the school of the Ethanite school.
Anderson University.
No, Ethanite.
Mm,
Or should it be the Andersonites?
no. It needs to be cleverer.
Oh.
I think just using your name is not good enough.
How about the parapeptics?
Ooh, what does that mean?
The parapeptic was Aristotle's school.
Well, really?
Yeah.
Well, we could be the neo-parapeptics.
Oh my gosh. The term parapectic is a transliteration of the ancient Greek word which means of walking or given to walking about.
The Wanderers.
Aristotle's school came to be named because of the parapetoi, walkways, where the members met.
Wow.
The legend that the name came from Aristotle's walking habit may have started with Hermethius of Smyrna.
Oh my God, Ethan, I love this. Let's do that. But do you want to be the neo-parapeptics, or do you just want to embrace the classicism element and go with parapeptics?
Well, I don't know if I can steal Aristotle's name.
What do you? Yeah.
What if
No one's gonna sue you.
What if we're the porch? The porch is we hang out on the porch.
What? No, that's lame.
Or how about the garden?
The what?
The garden.
No, too biblical. Also gay.
Peripatetic. Do you like that?
I mean, it doesn't sound good, but I like the meaning of it.
How about the Wanderers?
That would be better. Names are important. Names are really important.
How about cafeism? Because we meet at the cafe.
How about Cafe Wanderers? See, that's lame.
Yeah.
Let's see. How about It has to come from you.
Yeah. The Andersonites or the Ethanites or the.
See, now there's a clever joke somewhere in here about the Matrix, because Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
He was the
We can be the Neo Andersons.
We could be the chosen ones.
Oh my gosh. That sounds pretty cool.
It does, doesn't it? We could just be the chosen.
Ooh. Now that's a hot name.
Mm-hmm.
It's biblical though.
I don't care.
The chosen.
Sexy.
I think.
But again.
Because nature chose me, so we're the chosens.
Right.
Because I used to say that nature chose me, and I don't know why nature chose me.
You chose me, and I chose you.
Oh my gosh. And happiness is a choice.
Yes, sir. And sadness is a choice. Just not pleasure and pain. Those aren't choices.
How does sadness motivate you?
Because you want it to fucking stop.
Oh. What's an example of something that's sad?
The fact of death, like I said.
Why does death make you sad?
Because everything that makes me happy seems to end when death happens.
And then what does
So it
sadness motivate you?
Death seems to be the ultimate contradiction by virtue of to happiness, by virtue of the fact that it physically destroys all the objects which are party to giving me happiness.
But we don't know if it's really going to be...
Or pleasure, rather, giving me pleasure. What?
We don't know if we're going to die yet.
Well, we have to assume we will based on the overwhelming empirical evidence of billions of other people dying before us.
But we have Neuralink.
Ethan, I'm trying to live forever, and I'm always going to try to live forever. Nothing will ever stop me from pursuing my dream of living for forever. But I am attempting to comport myself with humility by acknowledging the reality that it's still vastly more likely that I will die than not.
Oh, so why does... I mean, what does that motivate you, the sadness of death? What does that motivate you to do to fix the sadness?
The fact that it's more likely that I'll die than not, despite my best efforts, makes me sad.
But you said the sadness helps you cure the sadness because it makes you take action, right?
Well, after having realized that it is making me sad, I then have a binary choice. I must do one of two things at that point in time. I must either choose to tolerate the presence of the pain within me to the degree that the pain is there, or my other option in the binary choice that I'm confronted with in that moment is to reject the validity of the presence of the pain to the degree that the pain is there, and or altogether, even though it's not possible to totally eliminate pain because pain is a constant, just like pleasure. It's what forms the essence of pain and pleasure together are what form any experiential anything at all. But sorry,
this doesn't make sense because I can be happy and just do what I enjoy doing and doing what makes me happy. I don't need sadness to be motivated, dude.
Well, I didn't say happiness isn't motivational, but I don't think that happiness being motivational means that sadness isn't motivational.
I thought you said that sadness is more motivating.
Oh no, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I haven't decided which one I think is more motivational. If I can think about it right now, though.
I thought we discussed something about it before, something about sadness being motivating.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the context of saying that happiness wasn't motivational, I don't think.
Okay. You said happiness they're generally happy with the status quo or something. So they're less likely to take action or something. maybe I got it wrong.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, but I still think we're missing a piece of the context from back then. But I'll have to go back and watch it to make sure.
Okay.
But
So, I like the chosen name because I always say that nature chose me, and I don't know why nature chose me, but
right.
I'm very grateful that nature chose me.
We could translate it into another language if you don't want it to be too ostentatious.
I don't care.
Oh, cool. All right. I prefer English as well.
I wonder how you say it in ancient Greek.
That's what I was thinking.
And nobody will know what it means, but it'll sound cool.
Right? Hopefully. I mean, pretty much everything in Greek sounds cool as fuck, in my opinion.
Eklektos.
Really?
Yes. Eklektos.
Eclectos.
That's even more badass.
Right? Holy fuck, that's so badass. That's badass as fuck. Okay, now wait. Now, is that the translation of the phrase the chosen, or is it the translation of the word chosen?
The word chosen.
Translate the phrase the chosen into Greek and see what it says.
The chosen is oi epilegmenoi.
LOL. But what about just chosen?
Chosen is
Eclectos, right?
eklektos.
ECLE.
Eklektos.
Can you type it in the chat? Oh, you did. Eclectos and epilegmenoi. Oi epilegmenoi and eclectos. LOL. Oi epilegmenoi is a shitty ass name for an American anything. Oh, is that the Greek characters for eclectos that you just sent to the chat?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Eclectos Incorporated.
Why? I'm
Oh,
gonna change my names to Eklektos.
Don't. I'm not gonna stop you. That's all. That's your choice.
Eklektos.
So we need a game plan.
Yeah.
Right? Because every business venture needs a strategy.
Yeah.
For growth. And a model for how
I got an idea.
We need a mission statement, and we need a model for how we perceive what we perceive our product and our culture to be. But what were you going to say?
We just need you to go around do marketing and talk to people.
I know. I'm fully prepared to do that too. But we need to formalize certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna hesitate to engage in my responsibilities. I'm just saying we also need to formalize certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a major, huge thing is you and I need to be able to contact each other easily. I think. I mean, not that we aren't able to now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta go home. I gotta go to sleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty late. good talk, Ethan. I enjoyed this.
But yeah, it's fun.
All right. Talk to you later, buddy.
All right, bye.
The best part about Eclectos to me is how it indirectly invokes the concept of free will, which I think is really cool because I'm all about free will, but the indirectness of the invocation makes it cool since Ethan owns the organization. So I feel really good about this. And the worst case scenario, like what do I have to lose from this? Literally, the worst case scenario for me with this little project of mine is that Ethan backs out and it doesn't happen, which I lose literally nothing. And I still got great content. So that's the worst case scenario. And I don't even think that's what will happen. But call me a bleeding heart optimist, I suppose. I'm fine with that.